I just want to make it publicly known. It wouldn't be right if there wasn't any chicken pox. I just had to say that. I just had to let that out and tell it like it is. It wouldn't be right, okay? This is the left that we know, all right? And with that being said, Trump 2024, Trump Nation, like, comment, subscribe, Trump 2024. All right, we're standing on that all 2024, and that's just that, okay? Unfortunately, we have people who do not value our country, turning our country upside down on its head. And I'm here to see a change. I'm here for the change. And I believe Trump is that change, okay? And, you know, to sit here and think that inflation is not a real thing, to think that, you know, we can just dilly-dally and toss anybody up on stage and call them the president and just let them run for the next 4 years and think everything will be all right is nonsense. And you must not be an American citizen, okay? Things are absolutely horrendous right now. And we need common sense, logic, and rationale back in office, all right? And that's just the God honest truth. So with that being said, welcome to the King Squad. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate all your support. As always, thank you to everybody who shares these videos, leaves a positive comment, and likes, comments, and subscribes. You guys are thebomb.com. Thank you to everybody who keeps me updated via email and comments and all that stuff. I appreciate all the love and support. We definitely have the problems we prayed for over here. And thank you to everybody who donates to the channel. Thank you, each and every single one of you guys. And with that being said, I will be giving my commentary periodically throughout the video, but more so on the back end. Stay tuned for that. Let's go.
It's been a really bad week for Trump, this, isn't it? I feel
Really?
It's just been the worst week, and we're all so upset about it. When he was getting roasted by the National Association of Black Journalists the other day, he was asked about choosing JD Vance as his VP, who has had a disastrous rollout. 24% approval rating. Watch.
When you look at JD Vance, is he ready on day one?
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact. You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of commotion as to who, like you're having it on the Democrat side, who it's going to be. And then that dies down, and it's all about the presidential pick. Virtually never has it mattered. You're voting for the president, and you can have a vice president who's outstanding in every way, and I think JD is. I think that all of them would have been. But you're not voting that way. You're voting for the president. You're voting for me.
Does he have amnesia or something?
Well, the problem is...
We're right in the middle right now about how important the vice president is.
Yes, because the vice president is the person that is at the top of the Democratic ticket for president.
Wait a minute. I just want to say, Trump keeps these people paid. These ungrateful people on the spew. Trump keeps their lights on. Let's just talk about it. Talking about Trump keeps them paid. That feeds their kids and their families. They're ungrateful. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let's go.
Yeah, right now, and is the person that is at the top of the Democratic ticket for president right now, and is probably going to kick his butt.
And there was an assassination attempt on his own life.
Yeah.
And
he's old. Está viejísimo. The oldest man to ever run for president now. Un anciano.
It's crazy.
It's also kind of rich for him to argue it doesn't matter because he arguably won in 2016 because Mike Pence helped boost him with evangelicals. He needed to pick somebody who had even the slightest bit of appeal with moderates and independents, and he did not do that with JD Vance.
He went the other way.
He's the first VP nominee to have a net negative favorability coming out of his convention, and it's gone down since. He came out with -6 points. Now it's -15.
Yeah.
This is the guy who calls us, childless cat ladies. And the thing with him is there was no vetting clearly because there will be even more tape.
I just want to run that part back.
Came out with -6 points. Now it's -15.
Yeah.
This is the guy who calls us, childless cat ladies. And
But is he wrong, though?
the thing with him is there was no vetting clearly because there will be even more tapes of him saying crazy, polarizing, divisive things.
And weird things.
And weird things.
That was like...
There's too much chicken buck. There's too much chicken buck here in this clip. They just hate the truth. I mean, it's bigger than Trump at this point. They just hate the truth, and they'd rather live in a delusional reality, and that's just what this show is. It's replace that V with an SP and remove the I. It's the spew.
2 years ago.
With him is there was no vetting clearly, because there will be even more tapes of him saying crazy, polarizing, divisive things
and weird things.
And weird things.
That was like 2 years ago. But I said.
But how could he say that the vice president is not important when Mike Pence was his vice president and helped save our democracy?
Exactly.
I mean, it's like
that's how dumb he is.
But I would also say
he's not
that
smart.
When we watch Vice President Harris.
Well, he's run the country before, and he ran it pretty good. Delusion.
As she enters this, and
I tell you, Delulu Island is packed. There's like no vacancy. Like, it's jam-packed.
who she's looking at all moderates and centrists. And I said that's a brilliant move, not only because I happen to be more of a centrist, but because when you look at the voting population, that's actually where the majority of Americans lie. And Trump doubled down by picking someone more extreme than him. So to me, they're both speaking to you through the way they're looking at their vice presidential picks.
Yeah, well, look, let me see how I couch my points.
Okay, careful.
JD Vance. Okay, so I think that if JD Vance was one of Trump's wives, he would have already cheated on him. Because he has been a disaster.
You know, every day I'm challenged like this. This misandry is just out of control. All right. I get tired of this man hate. I really do. Okay. Trump is a pretty solid president. Can we show some respect? I mean, seriously, like, the misandry is running rampant. This is why I talk about the feminism so much. All right. Cause it's like quadrupled down with my generation. It's insane. So I'm here as a voice to just anti-feminism and anti-misandry and all that nonsense. Can we like put some respect on the men who died for this country and our president? Well, our God willing, our 47th president, please. Thank you.
From the get-go. As Alyssa just said, there's usually a honeymoon period after one of Trump's wives. He would have already cheated on him. Because he has been a disaster from the get-go. As Alyssa just said, there's usually a honeymoon period after the convention, and he has had zero. And it's been on both sides. Because on the one hand, he's antagonizing cat ladies, calling childless people sociopaths. And on the other hand, there's all of this information that has been released of the things he said about Trump, on him saying that he hated the police. So I think,
and then he called Trump America's Hitler.
Yes, he did. Neither of the sides.
That's hard to come back from.
So honestly, Kamala Harris, I think, needs to pick somebody that does not hurt. I think most people don't vote on the vice president unless it's a really bad vice president, and then that does hurt. I mean, but at this point, Kamala could pick Trump's friend, Hannibal Lecter, and it would be better than JD Vance.
But didn't basically Trump pick Vance because he knows that he would not certify the election?
He would. He would not.
He would not certify.
I think that's
the way
part of
Pence
it.
did.
I think he's a yes person. I think he wanted to make sure that someone would fall in line and not do the right thing, like Vice President Mike Pence did. And I also think he just had the hubris.
I mean, do people actually take their opinion seriously? Don't answer that. Unfortunately, yes. But why? Like, you just must not be an American citizen. The view has to take place somewhere in, like, Venezuela or something like that. They can't be in the U.S. They can't be in the same country as us. They can't. They cannot be in America and sit here and hate on Trump like this. They can't.
Not to pick well or vet well, because he figured he had it in a landslide.
Everything in life is timing. And, when he made this choice...
He also kissed his butt bigger than the other guy.
Remember, he made this choice after Biden's disastrous debate and after the assassination attempt.
So he's full of himself.
So he was riding high because I think if he had felt more pressure, he might have looked at Nikki Haley he might have looked at Marco Rubio. There were a lot of people pressuring him to do that.
Yeah.
But he wanted the sycophant of sycophants. And this is what happens, folks, when you take Donald Trump Jr.'s advice. You end up with jail.
But you know what? The other vice president that mattered, I think, was Sarah Palin. That was a very...
A lot of people did not vote for John McCain because of her.
Sarah Palin. So for the presidential nominee on the Republican ticket to say, the vice president he doesn't have to be ready on the first day, should scare Republicans.
Well,
but
not a
doesn't
ringing
seem to be
endorsement.
doing anything.
But also, a lot of these sort of protest voters in Republican primaries are national security voters. They're people who back Nikki Haley because they care about things like supporting the war in Ukraine. JD Vance is to the far right of Donald Trump on that. He literally said, I don't really care what happens in Ukraine while Ukrainians are being slaughtered. So
because we have, I don't know if you've matured, but one of the things you learn as maturing is before you can help others. I know in the Christian world, it's, be selfless and all that. But there comes a point in time where, and I'm not saying don't help others, but I'm saying that there comes a point in time where you kind of got to be selfish. You kind of have to sit here and focus on you, okay, before you can start helping everybody else. It comes a point in time where you say, I got to put me first. And right now, I personally believe that America's in that position. America is sitting here, you get money, you get taxpayer dollars, you get taxpayer dollars, you get taxpayer dollars. And what about the Americans? We're giving all this money away and and we're just left to struggle. This is why I said these people cannot live in America. You can't. Okay, people are literally struggling out here, and America's helping everybody else but the hardworking Americans that live in America. It's wild. Delulu Island is packed.
I think that a lot of those disillusioned, exiled Republicans are looking to who Kamala Harris's VP pick is. If it's someone like a Josh Shapiro, who they see as moderate, I think a lot are going to hold their nose and vote for a Democrat at the top of the ticket and vote for Republicans down below.
Or a Mark Kelly. But are there any that aren't moderate? Because everyone I've seen so far looks pretty moderate.
I think the Mark Kelly, the Josh, she really is leaning into that. The only one I don't agree with is Tim Walz, mostly because I think she'll win the state outright, and I think he is seen as more left among moderates.
But historically, it doesn't really make a difference. You don't win the state because of the vice president.
Well, Shapiro is more...
Wait a minute. Didn't Trump just say that? He literally said virtually no impact. You're voting for the president, not the vice president. And then you got her coming in and just saying this. Did they? Okay. Just play the clip.
Stay outright, and I think he is seen as more left among moderates.
But historically, it doesn't really make a difference. You don't win the state because of the vice president.
Well, Shapiro is...
Yeah, Trump literally said that.
More popular than Trump.
A lot of people are saying, pick Shapiro because then you'll get Pennsylvania. That doesn't make sense.
He is more...
Well, minus the state part, but yeah.
Popular than Biden, Harris, and Trump in Pennsylvania. It's a 60%.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah, but
that's all you're
Pennsylvania
needing.
is one of the most important swing
is anybody here from Pennsylvania? No.
No, but in
There goes one person. There's one person right there.
There's a couple of people. I would bet you they're not going to vote for the president because the vice president is from Pennsylvania. They're going to vote who they vote.
I actually think it'll have a...
Really?
I think historically, when you have a very popular figure from a certain state, it's not a guarantee, but you are definitely playing your cards right.
Listen, I think he would be great.
If Kamala Harris gets Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and let's say
Michigan, she wins the whole thing. She just needs those three
hands
to win.
down.
How's she doing in those other
states? She's doing well in Michigan,
very well.
Wisconsin. Pennsylvania is where she needs to make up some
Pennsylvania.
ground.
Yeah. All right, I stand corrected. What do I know?
How are they still on air? I mean, honestly.
Pick well or vet.
Good Lord. These people literally talk out of their neck. None of their words come from their brain. They just noise right at the camera. Noise. So there you have it. The spew, unfortunately, on air. And that's that. So, as always, Trump 2024. I heard nothing but a lot of noise. No sentences, no conclusions, no rationale thoughts. Unfortunately, I heard a lot of noise. And that's that. But that's what I expect from the spew. The few. Should I say the unfortunate few? Does that suffice? So, that's that, guys. If you guys are new here, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I definitely think that before we leave, move on from this topic. I definitely think that JD Vance didn't hurt Trump's chances of being elected. I think JD Vance being picked, first things first, I trust Trump in that sense, okay? And some people will say, oh, no, I never trust politicians. I get that. But, like, if I'm voting for him to lead the country, you got to have some level of trust in this person, okay, to a degree, okay? I trust that they will do X, Y, and Z, or I trust that they will handle this issue, or whatever the case may be, okay? And I definitely believe that Trump made a very solid choice when he chose JD Vance. I've watched how JD Vance answers questions. I've listened to his answers, and I see how he processes thoughts and all that kind of stuff. And he definitely shows very good leadership skills to me. Now, I'm no expert on JD Vance. I definitely need to pay more attention to him. But comment down below what you guys think, okay? I definitely think that JD Vance definitely stands firm, and he has that fire in him that I identified within Vivek to a degree. And that's something I can get behind, stand for. Let me put it like that. So that's that. And yeah, so I definitely don't think JD Vance was a terrible VP pick. Comment your thoughts down below regarding who you guys think should have been the VP, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.